Tonight, serious new questions about Trump's strategy, or lack thereof, in Iran. Today, for the first time, Trump calling for Iran's, quote, unconditional surrender. As New York Times reports, it's yet another shift in the goals of the U.S. military actions, one that could pretend a much longer conflict. Also today, the Washington Post reporting the cancellation of an Army exercise is fueling speculation within the Defense Department that soldiers specializing in ground combat and a range of other missions may be sent to the Middle East. Days ago, Trump pointedly declining to rule out sending U.S. troops, quote, if necessary. Pete Hegseth also asked about it.
Are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do.
Sources telling MS Now the war is now costing the U.S. $1 billion per day. For context, the war in Afghanistan costs $300 million a day. So much for Trump stopping inflation. Meanwhile, Trump asked bluntly whether Americans should fear Iranian retaliatory strikes in the United States. His answer, quote, I guess, adding, quote, but I think they're worried about that all the time. We think about it all the time. We plan for it. But yeah, you know, we expect some things. Like I said, some people will die. When you go to war, some people will die. All this as Trump becomes the first modern president to take the United States to war without public support. New polling shows just 44% support for the war in Iran, compared to 51% support for Clinton's actions in Kosovo, 53% for Reagan's mission in Grenada, 83% for H.W. Bush's war in Iraq, and 90% for W. Bush's war in Afghanistan. Joining me now to discuss is Congressman Seth Moulton, Democrat from Massachusetts. He is a member of the House Armed Services Committee and a Marine Corps of Combat veteran who served multiple tours in Iraq. Congressman, I'm going to start with this. I usually avoid the what's the most terrible thing that Donald Trump has done this week, but what is your response as a veteran, as an American citizen, to the President of the United States when asked if people could die? He shrugs his shoulders and says, yeah, I guess.
Donald Trump has never respected the troops. Never. I mean, not when he dodged the draft, making up a sore foot to avoid going to Vietnam, and understandably sending someone in his place. It's not like there was just an empty seat. Someone went in his place. To when he called John McCain a loser for getting captured, an American hero. His own chief of staff, Marine John Kelly, documented that he called troops losers for signing up and suckers for getting killed. I mean, this is someone who has just never respected the troops or their families. And apparently he doesn't even really care about American civilians who could very well get killed in this crossfire as well.
So I want to make clear that the impact of this war from a humanitarian standpoint is problematic, but also from a geopolitical standpoint. The Washington Post reports that Russia is helping Iran. Russia is providing Iran intelligence to target U.S. forces. Officials say the targeting information has included the locations of American warships and aircraft in the Middle East, the official said. Now, you know, Russia and Iran have long had a relationship. I believe it's Iranian missiles, some of what Russia is using in their war against Ukraine. But how does the fact that Russia is assisting Iran complicate our ability to essentially fund or navigate two wars, a war in Iran and a war of sort of protection or a proxy war in the Ukraine?
Well, look, it just ties us down in the Middle East in a way that's incredibly helpful to our adversaries, because we can't be as focused on Ukraine. We don't have the munitions to support Ukraine in a war that actually is really beneficial to us because they're doing the tough work against the Russians. It means we can't have a posture in the Pacific to prevent a war with China, which should be the number one threat everyone is concerned about around the globe. And so the point is that as bad as this looks in the Middle East, and let me be clear, it looks terrible. And this is not going well for us in terms of achieving any of the goals that the president even laid out, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But a lot of the focus is just on what's going to happen in the Middle East. This has huge geostrategic implications. We heard about the economic implications earlier, but there are major national security concerns as well, which is why we've heard, through the grapevine, a lot of concern among the General Officer Corps, among senior officials in the Pentagon, even among the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, even from the chairman himself, very concerned about doing this. It's pretty clear that this was either Trump's idea or Bibi's idea, but not the general's idea to go into Iran.
I want to play you a quick soundbite and get your thoughts on the other side of the president talking about his potential next target for the U.S. military.
What's happening with Cuba is amazing, and we think that we want to finish this one first, but that will be just a question of time before you and a lot of unbelievable people are going to be going back to Cuba. Hopefully not to stay. We want you back, and we don't want to lose you. We don't want to make it so nice that they stay. That was another one that wasn't supposed to happen.
Venezuela, Iran, threats to Greenland, threats to Canada, now potential threats to Cuba. What does this do, Congressman, also about our ability to maintain information sharing and relationships with allies? The other people who we supposedly share military intelligence with have to be looking at this country and saying, I can't share things with these guys anymore. They're attacking everyone.
Yeah, this is apparently his path to a Nobel Peace Prize, President of Peace, right there. He's just completely untrustworthy. And it's trust with our allies, of course. I mean, that's pretty obvious. And we've already had some of our closest allies withhold intelligence from us. That puts Americans in danger. I mean, just be clear. Trump's actions put Americans in danger because we're able to protect American citizens in part from the intelligence we get from our allies. But maybe what's less obvious is the fact that our enemies don't trust us either. My 1st Marine Division commanding general was James Mattis, who would later, of course, become Trump's Secretary of Defense. Right. And our division motto was no better friend, no worse enemy than a United States Marine. Now, that meant if you were our friend, our ally, you could trust us to the end of the world. But it also meant if you were our enemy, you could trust us. You could trust that we would put up the worst fight you've ever seen. And so the point is that Russia and China are laughing at this. Xi Jinping is saying, this will be great if they use all their missiles in the Middle East. Russia is saying, wow, Americans have been using their intelligence to target our troops. Now we get to target theirs. This is a great boon for our adversaries, and it's really bad for our troops.